as well.
What you'd really like to do is test every single high school kid, all the boys and girls, and then put a blue dot on the one.
Hope or something, a special treatment.
Go, and then say, that little girl right there has really got it. But the good thing about it is people take a lot of interest. So if this is horrible, but I've noticed in organizations, nonprofits I've been in, if I say, hey, will you mentor this person, but let's say that they have a lot of problems and all that kind of, people don't really want to do, but if you say, hey, this person,
promising to
it could become Steve Jobs, then everybody wants to go, yeah, I'll hire him and that kind of thing. But so, but we've at Gallup, I started a little program called Straight to Work, and so that one kid I was telling you about, I just hired him right at 18.
Yeah, that's Leo from Mexico.
But if I brought, that's actually I did that with him too. This is actually an African American kid, but if I brought you in here and we started talking about business, and I had my 18-year-old African American kid, he developed so quickly that you wouldn't be able to tell, you wouldn't, except he looked so young. If he didn't look so young, and he would add to the, I take him on calls with me. I don't tell anybody he's 8, I don't say anything about him, it's just a guy with me. You know?
To have the filter.
But nobody, I think people think he's a real young looking MBA or something, you know?
Because of the value he's bringing actually to it. So what's the vision, if I would ask you, what is the vision of Gallup for BP10 and in alignment with StrengthsFinder, probably because it goes together? Like, where are you heading in 10 years, 15? Where are we going to be?
Well, the dream would be, my concern, I hope is that human productivity is actually grinding down, and very few very few Europeans, Americans, or whatever know that. But what it means is that we're not making and selling enough stuff to each other. It means that GDP per capita is in decline. Something fixes it, and that is that you got to get kids built, and it really starts with young people. And so right now, throughout the whole world, millennials don't start companies. We're missing a whole generation of free enterprise. Nobody
wants them to join the corporate environment because they're weird, kind of. They don't start the companies, so basically they are in a bad situation, because what do we do?
But there are kids among them that can build big things.
And then bring people
we just need to find them. They'll hire them, they'll give them jobs, But I think what would fix the world like a magic trick would be as if every city tested their high school kids just like we test for IQ.
Find those with
and say, these are unusual people.
Treat them right.
And then get them in,
Give them the right environment.
Give them the right environment.
So if I'm looking at this, let's say, okay, we have those high score young people.
Yeah.
But what about those, okay, some of them are average, they have, let's say, one is rainmaker, but another one is a seller, wonderful seller, but they're not on the top. But if we combine them together,
yeah, you can do that.
We create a team, let's say 1 + 1 = 11, and then we put them in a team. I mean, to give hope to everybody. It's not like, okay, you don't score high, bye-bye, I'm not taking care of you.
The thing I started a long time ago, I had a manager, his name was Gail, and he was an incredible manager, but a horrible salesperson. Then I had this old PhD from the university, but without both of them, I can't make it.
Okay.
But there's no question, that's a three-legged stool. You take the expert out, and this guy and I fail. You take me out, they fail.
So what you say, let's say if you're not in this top, that you have it all, then find people who will complement you, create a team, but do it with an awareness of how to do it.
Because those stars are the ones you need to find, though, those freak rainmakers. But they always, I mean, like every time they need a manager.
To support them. To run the operations.
Absolutely. And some of them, you know, are pretty
like
unpredictable.
Jobs, he had his team as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And the guy was from Poland, by the way.
Yeah, it was Wozniak.
Yes, that's right. He was from Poland.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you got to. I didn't read the Steve Jobs book, but I guess that without Wozniak, there wouldn't
happen.
It wouldn't happen.
That's why Wozniak at the end was a little bit upset that it all went to Jobs, very much to him, where they created a team. But Jobs was the freak you mentioned. Like, he was this kind of, the mind and giftedness probably behind the scenes in combination with Wozniak and others, because it was not just two of them as well.
The odd thing about my two guys, although they were both academics, they oddly they could have had tenure at the university. They didn't want to. They were attracted to the entrepreneurial environment, even though they themselves weren't entrepreneurs. But they liked the environment, and both of them, they both passed away, but they both died very rich. One of them really rich. But so they wanted to be. They were kind of Wozniak types. Couldn't do it on their own, but they wanted to be in that cell.
So in Gallup, like, you talk a lot about performance. It's all performance focused. What we figured out in TLnC Global, that it's very important now, especially with millennials, that it's performance plus joy, like more fulfillment. Yeah. What are your thoughts about this? Like, where fulfillment goes together with performance, how does this work together?
I think the big difference between millennials and me, I'm a baby boomer, is that I was looking for work basically only for a paycheck.
Yeah. House and a tree. I remember
that's right.
Nebraska.
That's right.
And one slide.
but those kids they want actual meaning.
Yeah. Purpose.
And so you got to have performance plus purpose. They also are interested in their own development.
Yeah. It's like, help me to find my meaning.
Right.
And how do I bring my meaning to the meaning of your organization? But first you have to know it. So basically, do we say that organizations and teams without meaning, they're losing on the market space? They wouldn't attract the best candidates, right?
Right, yeah.
Because the best would ask those questions, consciously or unconsciously.
Yeah, and maybe I said this too before, but sometimes when we're after a talent, McKinsey or Ernst & Young will figure it out, and they know Gallup does testing, so then they go after them too. Yep. What they do is they raise the money. We stop. We don't raise the money. We sit them down and say, talk to them about, here's your development. You'll be here. You'll start. Then you'll go to Omaha. Then we'll send you to London. Then we'll send you to Singapore, or whatever they. and then we always win. As soon as we move it to purpose and your development, the money does it trumps the money.
And this is what corporate leaders say, that we cannot get them. We give them more money. They don't want it, and they go and live somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
And then that just makes them a little bit confused. So what do they want? What they want is conversation, ongoing conversation, right? Purpose, development, and treat me as a equal.
Yeah.
I remember you gave those
it's because for me, my job wasn't my life. My life was going to be the family, but for them, it's their life. So that's why it is.
Equals my job, equals my life. Okay, and the last thing, what would you say to people who are thinking, to work with their strengths, to go after their talents, or just live their life as they did before? Why is it so important to follow the legacy, to find their talents, to work on them, to develop them into strengths? Why is it crucial, and is it crucial?
Well, yeah, I think it's more important now than ever before, because although you hear there's a lot of jobs around, like in Europe and the United States, they're not living wage jobs. Yeah. So, for instance, in the United States, when the recession hit, 10 million jobs went out, and then 10 million jobs came back in. The ones that went out were good-paying jobs where you could raise a family and all that, and the ones that came back in were part-time and hourly. So half of America makes $15 or less an hour. So what it says about people is that it's really more competitive than it's ever been. The unemployment percentages are very misleading, but you have to be able to maximize your own potential or you can't get the good jobs. But so my recommendation is for people, organizations, cities, or when I'm talking to students, you need to get your strengths.
Families, whoever you are.
You need to get your strengths together so so you can maximize whatever you have, because it's really competitive.
It's like start with your talent, figure out your strengths, treasure your values, find out your dream, combine those together, and you'll know your genius.
Exactly.
This is what we teach about in TLnC with support of GALLUP best tools and best know-how. So I'm very thankful for you keeping, Don Clifton's dream alive and doing all this amazing work and flying around the world and sharing the message. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thank you for being on the ride with us.
I'm trying to do my best.